Greetings, adventurers. I'm Dragroth, and welcome back to Powerwash Simulator. We're going to clean the cruise ship Sun deck. They provide me with a Prime Vista Pro. Oh, hiya, Power Washer. Yeah, we've had a bit of a to-doing on deck. Can't go into the specifics, as it probs end up in the courts, this one, but it was a bit of a mood breaker. Let's just say next time we'll make sure we shake off the seabirds before leaving harbor. Jesus. And fully vet the entertainment. We cleaned the deck of what little food the birds left, so you should get a nice and clean run at it. Sure thing. So. Alright. This is going to be an interesting experience. We'll start from the beginning. Oh. Beach ball! Alright, we'll start with the doors. Great news! Yes, that's great news. Captain says check the contracts and we're in the clear. Think Poseidon for the maritime law, eh? Yep. Okay, yeah, sorry. People are texting me. Yep, maritime law is great. Anyways, what that means is I can now tell you exactly what happened here. And that was quick. And what else is there on the store? There we go. Yep, just go ahead. Tear it up. Well, I got that door frame, might as well get this one too. There we go. Infinity pool floor. The infinity pool. I don't know what that means, but okay. Start from there. Get up behind that ladder and stuff too while I'm at it. Well, I am out here on the floor. Yep. As I said before, it wouldn't surprise me if people treat my playthrough this more as a walkthrough. But we are just power washing, so. Well, that's a view. Actually in the water? Jesus. But yeah, I am very glad that they keep adding more content to this game. I hope it doesn't go away anytime soon. Good job, Square Enix. Square Enix has always been good about that stuff, I must say. And I've always had kind of a, love relationship with Square Enix, because they are just awesome. I've never really had too many issues. Well, some people have griped about things like the Crystal Chronicles remake and stuff like that. I never played Crystal Chronicles, so I really don't know, personally. Final Fantasy, that is. I've always loved the Final Fantasy series. It's one of my go-to, games of time. So, I'm very glad to have those games in my life. I wonder how much money this is going to net me. Hopefully a good bit. Because, hopefully a good bit. Yep, I'm just kind of going back and forth on this one. Yep, money in this game is going to be a good thing to have. So, money, and stars. Yeah, bonus jobs, from what I've seen at least, it's easier to get money through the bonus jobs than anything, so thankfully they give us a decent way to make tons of money. And it is my belief that Square Enix has just kind of let the developers do what they want, do what they need, instead of pushing them. That's one thing I was kind of talking about earlier with Risk of Rain 2's DLC and how poorly it's been received so far, is that I believe it's not all the developer's fault. I believe that there was somewhere along the line some push from publisher, from Gearbox, to rush things out as quickly as possible, and that's why we got a broken, incomplete DLC, because they just didn't have time to really fix it. And I hope that everything works out well for Oppo, and that things get better for them, because they don't deserve what happened. If it's not their fault, they don't deserve a bunch of flack for, you know, what happened, if it's not their fault. Am I blaming them? Absolutely not. Am I blaming Gearbox? Yeah, because they, in my opinion, aren't the best. They used to be pretty cool. Well, they've just kind of gone downhill, unfortunately. And I don't mean to crap on anybody's parade, or, you know, if that's your favorite publisher, everyone has a right to their own opinion. You know, so take my words with a grain of salt, because I don't know what I'm talking about half the time anyways. So, just a heads up. Clean that ladder. Clean that ladder. Yeah. Getting that ladder nice and clean. It's a nice and clean ladder. Hell yeah. That is one of the most undirty ladders you'd ever see. See how clean that ladder is? Clean ass ladder. Gonna need to pull rims. Oh, the edges of it. Okay. Alright. Yep. Best thing anybody can do now is put on some relaxing music and just enjoy the power washing. Yeah, somebody told me during stream I had a guy pop in. He mentioned Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, which apparently is really good. And I'm going to probably look into that. If it's really good, then yeah, I'll definitely play it, probably in place of Monster Hunter 1. Possibly. No guarantee. But I'll look into it, give it a try, and see about getting it set up. Problems is that it's for Switch. And I would need to buy a capture card to be able to get it running on my PC. Or to get it, well, like streaming to my PC. So. But that's for a later time. Right now, it's Monster Hunter, you know. Just playing Monster Hunter 1. Monster Hunter 2004, I think is the best thing to call it. And it's been a trip. It's been a fun trip so far. It hasn't been angering, it hasn't been frustrating. It's had its oh god no moments, but it is definitely a fun game for what it is. And it's the start of what became a massive franchise for Capcom. Because Capcom owns Monster Hunter. So, I've always loved Capcom. One of my favorite things I love about Capcom is what's dubbed Capcom cheese. And it's beautiful. Capcom cheese is beautiful. The steps. Alright. Take it one step at a time. Look, I'm already 10% complete with this thing. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. When it comes to Capcom games, I always loved like Phoenix Wright, the Ace Attorney series. I've actually been in the background over the course of an extended period of time recording the Ace Attorney trilogy that was on Steam, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. So I like those kinds of games. I need to get back into it. I haven't played it. I haven't touched it in about a month. Yeah, I've been recording it. The big problem is, yes, I want to do all these things with YouTube, and I want to make all these videos and play all these games, but it's hard to, if I could, look, if instead of working my job, I could sit here and I could record and edit for 8 hours a day and put out 2 or 3 videos a day, I would, if I could. The big problem is finances. I'm not able to step down from my job and do that kind of stuff, unfortunately. And I just have to keep going at it until, you know, I get something else going. I've been saving up for upgrades for YouTube. A good example is I'm getting a new PC soon. And, you know, it's exciting because, yeah, new gaming PC, woo, but at the same time, it's an expensive thing. I've been saving up for a long time to be able to get it. I've been saving up since the beginning of the year. And I'm finally going to be able to get it, hopefully in about a week. So one of my main reasons for doing so is processing time. So videos, depending on length, take time to export. That's fine and dandy, but with a better graphics card, I can export a lot faster. So a 40-minute video, instead of taking 20 minutes, should only take maybe 5 or 6 minutes. And yeah, I know, my editing's not the best. I know that some of my stuff's just kind of slop, and it's just there. But it's something I enjoy doing. And if I enjoy doing it, I'm going to just keep doing it. I don't need to make YouTube a job, necessarily. I don't need to. Would I love that? Absolutely. It's everybody's dream to be an influencer of some sort. Me, I just want to play games, bring a few smiles, and have fun. You know. And that's my goal, is to just have fun with it. So don't feel inclined to go, oh, here's money, quit your job, or whatever. Don't feel like, oh my god, he just wants to do it for the money. No. I do this because I enjoy it. I've barely made any money off of YouTube since I've started, and that's fine by me. Honestly, that is absolutely fine. I'm not the best YouTuber. I'm not the best when it comes to video editing. I don't necessarily have that. I'm still learning from it. I'm not the best about talking about certain topics. I don't have the cleanest humor either. I'm not gonna lie. But there are things that I do that I enjoy, and I'm just going to keep doing it. It's just fun for me. You know, I have other YouTuber stuff that I look up to, that I like, as does everybody. And I'm just going to do what I want with my content, I guess. I'm just going to have fun. So, that's my goal in the long run, is to have fun and enjoy life. And maybe bring a few smiles and, who knows, help someone out here and again. And I am so glad to have this platform to do that. Because heck, this is a platform where anybody can be themselves. Anybody can get on here, make content, have fun, grow an audience, build a community. And if I ever got the opportunity to make something more of this, I would take it. I very much would. It's been a dream of mine for a long time to do that. And here I am, ranting, having like real talk with the camera. So maybe only a handful of people that might actually watch this. You know what? That's fine. This is what I want to do. This is what I enjoy. So, that's pretty. Life buoys. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's just what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and have fun. That's the point after all. Why do something if you hate it? Why do something if you don't like doing it? Alright? So, that's why I'm here, because I like it. And I don't think anything's really ever going to change that. And I'm going to do this as long as I am able to. You know, when I was younger, it's kind of funny because when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of YouTube and stuff. I grew up with the old days of YouTube. I say it like it's, you know, I remember the days of YouTube poops. And it was funny, me and my brother, I was like, look what I came across in my YouTube feed. It was a YouTube poop from back in the day, and we watched it, and we were like, man, why was this funny? We were like, this was stupid. Why did we ever laugh at this? It was just one of those moments where like, man, are we getting old? You know, it was just one of those realizations. Oh God, I'm not young anymore. I'm hip, I'm cool, I promise I'm like Mr. Krabs. So, there you go. Yep, cleaning up all this dirt. All this, from my understanding, bird shit. So, we've been having a tough time of it, truth be told. They hired a magician called the Great Head Cheese, but he disappeared. Literally, that's no joke. Oh man. He actually disappeared. We still haven't found him. Damn. Wow. Okay. It's got kind of dark. He was there opening night. This is Blue Magic for the Kids that went down like lead, like a lead one, and we haven't seen him since. Jesus Christ. That's the Great Ted Cheese. Oh man. Kind of like I was told about this guy. He's like a musician or something. He does like old school covers of songs or something like that. And his name was like Richard Cheese, and it's funny because that meant Dick Cheese. I'm like, wow, that's a hell of a name to have for performing music. I really don't know anything else about him besides they call him Dick Cheese. So, think of that what you will about my knowledge of people. That's my musical knowledge, kind of, for the most part. I know a few things about music. Very few. I know that I like rock music. There's someone whose alias is literally Dick Cheese, and that Elvis died on the toilet. So, that's all of my music trivia right there. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that spread. Yeah, get that. The power washer going. Get it all up under there. Yeah. Yep, might as well go ahead and clean this section too. The floor out here up under the chairs. Gotta get this lower deck cleaned up. But this is power washing. Alright, I can stand back up. Keep power washing like normal, not like a madman. Alright. See, it's starting to look good. Starting to look pretty damn good. Place will be fixed up in a jiffy. Place will be perfect in no time. One thing I'm probably not going to do, though, are going to be the, like, challenge modes and stuff like that, like the time attack and stuff. I really don't care for that kind of stuff. I'm no speedrunner. I'm not one to really race against the clock. So, yeah. Not my deal. Alright. Gonna be getting somewhere. A lot of this goop and crap that's all over the damn deck. I want to know what the hell actually happened here. Did the magician explode all over the place or shit himself all over the place or something? Or was it just the birds? Hopefully it was just the birds. Hopefully. I think I used most of my brain while I was playing Monster Hunter. Whoa. Yep. Most of my brain's gone. It's just gone forever. Gonesies, never to be seen again. And I'm gonna sit here, clean damn stuff forever. Power wash forever. Power wash everything forever. Never to stop. It never ends. Power washing never ends. Never ends. But yeah, so Power Wash Simulator is really fun. It's really great when you have like upgraded gear and stuff. You go back to a level, a prior level, and then you just destroy it, and you're like, yeah, give me that free like 50 cents, because you only earn like a fourth of the money, and you don't get the end reward either. Game's like, screw you, you power wash it too well. We'll give you a little bit of money, but that's it. Pretty much what the game does. When you go to replay a job, you get a fourth of the normal cash. At minimum 25 cents. And you get no completion reward, because you get a lump sum upon completion. Like, this whole job is worth $300. Seems like a lot of money, right? Oh, well, if I replay it, then I get maybe 75-ish. Probably. Somewhere around there. Don't get me wrong, it's still fun. I do like how the bonus jobs don't force you to use your equipment. That way you don't have to grind up to a certain point if all you want to play the DLCs, or, you know, a bonus job that you did or something like that. So, my question is that I've noticed there's unique washers and suits for the DLCs. You can't use them in normal gameplay. Is there a way to like actually unlock them, or are they just kind of stuck to where they're only in that DLC, or what? Because I mean, I'd like to know if there's a way to do that. That'd be much appreciated. And if there isn't, that'd be something cool to have, so everybody could have their own wild, you know, wild and wacky looks while they're running around cleaning everything. Yeah. I think that would be awesome if they could give us that. Or if it's already in the game and I don't know about it, then that'd be nice to know about. We gotta start cleaning the palm tree bases. That's gonna be fun. Everything about this game is fun, honestly. This is one of those games where it's like, after a long day of work, and after, you know, a stressful time, to boot it up, listen to some documentaries in the background, and just relax. Yep. Here we go. Yeah. That's all the palm bases. Palm leaves. Oh no. Oh shit. I have to clean the top off them too, don't I? Oh no. That's evil. That's evil. I have to climb up there. We're gonna get help. Ah. Yeah, big old ladder. Alright, Mr. Palm Tree. You wanna be cleaned? No? Well, too bad. I'm gonna clean you. clean good and you're gonna like it. Something tells me that these palm trees are fake. Because the actual pressure washer or power washer would just eat through this leaf. It would just destroy it. Come on, right there on the tip. Yoink. Yoink. Yeah, that's a clean palm tree. Next. That's a clean palm leaf. The tree itself's not quite done, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Yep, we will all get there eventually. Everything's going to be clean. Everybody's going to be happy. Alright, come here, palm leaf. Your days of dirty are over. Oh, I'm hitting the damn ceiling of the level. There we go. Alright. Let's see what else we can clean off of here. You see, this one isn't that bad. This one's not as big as the Santa's Workshop, it feels like. Santa's Workshop had tons of like nooks and crannies and shit. Man, Santa, your workshop is fucking horrible, my guy. Your workshop was absolutely atrocious. What, that's half of them, right? Yep. It's 10 out of 20. Wanted to make sure... Whoa! Didn't want to do that. Yep, wanted to make sure that's actually half of them before I claim it was. And then like, oh, there's more. Ah. Yeah. Clean up those leaves. Ah. There we are. Yeah. Come on, finish. There you go, good leaf. Alright. I'm just playing the game at this point. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm just playing the game. I'm just playing the game. Enjoying my time with the Power Washer game, because why not? I really don't have much else to talk about. I know, I fell all the way down. Didn't want to fall all the way down. I can't get up. There, oh, there we are. Made it. Alright, you're the last one. Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, it was in my way. Yeah, one thing I really do like is how, as you go, you accidentally wash other parts too, which is great. That way you can just, you know, already have it partly washed to an extent. Have other parts partly washed to an extent. Yeah. We are 37% done with this level. I'm just gonna keep going at it. I'm not even gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop till at least 50%. If I need to pause it and take a break. Yes, do remember to take a break when playing video games. Go outside, get fresh air, all that good stuff. And don't forget it. Stay hydrated too. Always stay hydrated. Last thing you want to be is that guy who doesn't hydrate and then your pee-pee shrivels up because you got hydrated. That's my sentiment. That's my sentiment. Yeah. With a palm tree. Fake, more than likely plastic palm tree. Yeah, it says it's plastic. Why didn't I look at the material up top? It says plastic. I could have read that and been like, yeah, I can confirm this is plastic. It's sort of the leaves. It's all plastic. Oh, always plastic. Fucking Barbie palm tree. Woo, let's keep going. I got plenty of money. Play pool. Where's the play pool? Is this the play pool? Sure is. It's for the kids. The kiddie pool. Yep. Here I am. Cleaning God knows what off of this pool floor. I mean, imagine having to explain that to your kids. Like, Mom, why can't we play in the pool? The magician disappeared and something went very awry. They're not legally liable for it, so no more vacations ever. So that meant that entertaining the passengers all rested in theater ensemble. Head, shoulders, feet, and toes. That's their names. Well, for starters, they weren't used to performing for grown-ups. Understandable. And by day 5, we were all prepared, all out of prepared material, and became an ill-received improv collective. Damn. Well, that's no fun. Day 6, they quickly pivoted, and well... Well, what? I want to know! You can't just leave me hanging like that. gonna leave me hanging like that, huh? Man, I gotta clean like 20% more before she'll tell me more. He, she, whoever it was. Forgot who this job's for. I'm the dirt finder, and I find dirt and I clean it. Something tells me that not all this is dirt, though. I hope it wasn't like they ruptured a septic tank or something. Or the sewage holder didn't bust. I don't have a sewage holder on cruise ships. Just drop that shit in the ocean, quite literally. Don't they? Is that how it works? I don't know. Maybe the fish like it. I really don't know. See, I've had to fix toilets before. It's not fun. How'd that happen on one of my old jobs? Just, there was a busted toilet. My boss, he was like, yeah, you've worked on, pipes and stuff before, right? And I was like, yeah. Am I helping me with this toilet? And I was like, sure, I can do that. So I got to stay like an hour and a half late. I got overtime for it, so I can't really argue, but I got to stay late and help fix the toilet, and it was funny because my boss at the time, he was like, oh my god, the smell, and I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm fine, it don't bother me none. Smells never bothered me. Well, very few have, more of. So, very few smells have really ever bothered me. So he was sitting there like gagging and stuff, and I was like, here, I'll just take over and do it. What it was a very bad clog. And we had to remove the toilet from the floor and go in and dig it out. It sucked. Yeah. Crap I had to deal with back then. Quite literally. So. Ooh, man. Bull's doing great, though. Bull's doing great. This whole place is doing great now that I'm here. Look how much cleaner it is. Doesn't look like poo-poo anymore. Get out of my way. Go ahead and do some of the walls too while I'm at it. Might as well, because I'm pretty sure that's what's next. Yep. I like how I'm just jumping about between the campaign and the expansions and stuff and free updates, because, why not? It's all there for me to play anyway, so why not just go for it all? Oh my god, this is going to be a pain in the ass to get to. There's the trim. I'm going to finish up the wall, or try to at the very least. Not quite. Yeah. There we are. A rain dome. The heck is that? Oh, it's those things. It's one of those. It's a big mushroom. Like, what the hell is a rain dome? I don't know. I didn't expect it to be a big mushroom though. Yeah. Rain dome pole. Whoop. Okay, what's next on the list? The slide. Yep, gotta clean up the slide. Gotta get up under it. Fuck that. I'll do some support while I'm at it. As I make my way up. Man, there's a lot. This is a lot of dirt stuff. Mr. Slide. Alright. Yeah. Just gonna keep cleaning. Cleaning, and cleaning, and cleaning. And let me up, let me up. There we are. Nothing's more fun at the pool than the water slide, right? Right. So I bet you the rest of the stuff for sports on top. Yeah. That's what I like to see. Clean off the rest of that. Yep. Yeah. Yep, that's the stuff. That's the stuff. Oh, heck yeah. Cleaning that slide. Yeah. Get out. Right. Yeah. Alright. That's a clean slide. Just for the kids. Slide base. Alright. Should be an easy one. Okay. Yoink. Yeah. Ladder. It's gonna be one of those fun parts where I'm like, oh god. Gotta love the things that are pain in the ass to clean. They get clean eventually, but man, it's a pain to do so. Certain items. Yeah. Slide platform. Go ahead and get that clean because I'm pretty sure it's the last part of the slide. Man, I'm I'm 50% of the way done. Oh my god, I just realized how long this job's gonna take me. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Spa pool's getting cleaned up, ready to go. Also, everyone's been freaking out about this game. Tyler bought it for me. It's called Core Keeper. I haven't even played it yet. It looks fun, but I have to do this. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, I have to record footage of something, anything, really. Yeah, spa pool's done. Really? Yeah, we'll go ahead and get that done next. Alright. Where was I? Spa pool railing. As soon as I sit down. Bro, I am. No. No game. I am busy. I am very busy. I am forget to turn down volume. As soon as I go to do something, people want me. It's like, oh yeah, I'm available between these times of the day. And then as soon as I'm doing something, that's when everybody wants me. So sad, so sad, so sad. Yep. I literally just sat down and my phone immediately goes fucking off. I'm like, no, that ain't happening. No, nobody's bothering me today. So, nobody. I mean, nobody. There's only one person that can interrupt my power washing session right now. And that is if somebody dies. So, like, that's the only way that my power washing session's getting interrupted. So, I'm sorry, all of my friends. But, as of right now, I am currently busy. Tyler. Yes, it was Tyler who texted me. He always, it's so funny because, I kid you not, every time I go to do something, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if I'm recording. I could be saving the goddamn world. Yeah, I could be in the middle of, like, some super secret spy shit to where the world itself hangs in the balance. And it's only then that people text me or call me or want something from me. It's like, god damn. Every time. I'm not even kidding. Every single time I go to do anything, I could have just walked out the door to go to work. You know. If somebody will text me or call me and go, hey, you want to do stuff? You want to, it's like, bro, it's only, only when I'm busy. I mean that legitimately. And it's like, why me? Why? I mean, it's okay that people text me and stuff, but I mean, shit, why only when I'm in the middle of something? It's not like they know it. From here on, next time, if anyone's going to send me a text message or call me or anything, wait about 2 hours until you do. Because then I might be able to get back. Yeah, I had an allergy attack earlier. I still feel my throat and my sinuses going. It's crappy. It's poo-poo and it sucks and I hate it. Allergies suck. I literally picked up a book and moved it to my bookshelf, and that book had a little bit of dust on it. And it caused me to have like a 20-minute sneezing fit. I am not kidding. Allergies suck. Just, my solution would normally be just don't have allergies. But that's a lot easier said than done. And yeah, that was like 2 hours ago. I'm still suffering from it. I'm like, bruh, I don't even finish the damn book. I don't have time. Like, man, my focus sucks. Because I started reading House of Leaves. I got, to the second part, read about the first few chapters of that. And then after that, it's just no more. Like, I just haven't picked it up since. And it kind of sucks. Because I've been wanting to finish this book. But I had bought a new bookshelf a while back. And I've been slowly, over time, gathering all my books to put on there. Man, we need more physical books, too. It's really funny. I have a whole story about that, because there's this webcomic that I started reading. I had been reading it since, like, middle school. I've been reading it for a long time. And I really like it. And the thing that frustrated me was that I had to be at a computer to read it. And then I saw, oh my god, they have physical books. You could buy it in fucking hardback. And I wanted it so bad, throughout, like, high school and stuff. And never got the chance to get it because my parents probably would be like, no, get a real book. You don't need a comic book. And with that, I was wrong, because my mom started buying me the Punisher Max comics in high school. But I was still kind of like, yeah, I'll take the Punisher. I love the Punisher. But regardless, what I'm getting at is that I waited till I was an adult. I waited till I was an adult just so that I could save up the money and buy all of them in hardback. And I sat there and I reread the entire series, beginning to where the hardback books end. And when another volume comes out, I will more than likely buy it. Like, as soon as another book comes out, I buy that crap in a heartbeat. Because I am very... For me, it's funny. I'm okay with digital games. I don't necessarily fully approve of digital games. If I could have physical, I would. But digital is just easy. So digital games, there's a whole debacle and debate about that. I'm not going to get into it. Just as long as I can play the games, I don't care. Now, the exception is that if... Oh, there's 11 of these damn chairs. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so, music and stuff, movies, all that stuff, I'm okay with digital. Would I prefer physical? Usually, most of the time, yes. But books, I cannot have a PDF. I cannot have a digital book. I just can't read it. I can't get into it if it's on a damn screen for some reason. I have to have the physical book. And then some books, I don't know why, but just some books are so much better if you physically have it. And I can't explain that. I cannot explain that. A good example is House of Leaves. House of Leaves is more of an art piece than a book itself. And I'm okay with that. That is awesome. I love House of Leaves. Even though I haven't finished it, it is an interesting story. It's an interesting concept. And it is mind-fuckingly amazing. It is such a great book. Even though I haven't finished it, I praise it. I praise it. The problem is... check this job out, yeah! The problem is that with certain books and media and stuff, just they don't fit well in a digital format, like House of Leaves. I didn't even look to see if I could buy a PDF because I knew how insane the book is, that and how the structure is. So I didn't want it to be tainted by reading it on a PDF or a Kindle or something. I thought about buying a Kindle at one point. Yeah, you can get plenty of free books. They got free books here and again, and you can get books for cheap. I have bought so many books, physical books off of Amazon. I have so many points, I could probably go get a damn Kindle for free. I am no exaggeration. If they would let me buy, actually, I'll look here in a second. I'm going to finish this piece up. I'm going to check that out. Because you know what? I bet you I could have a free, if I could spend my Kindle points, I could probably get a free fucking Kindle at this rate. Because I bought so many damn books. I bet you. I bet. Look at it. They got the Amazon Kindle 16 gig. I mean, well, they got it in denim. Yeah, look, can I buy this with, let's see. How many, here, my account. Yeah. Yeah, look. What? Oh, points expire. Ah. um, I may have lied. Okay. I thought I would have a lot more because I did not know that points expired on Amazon. But still, like, I have a bunch. I got like 160 points. And that's just from recent purchases. Speaking of books, I saw something. I'm like, God, oh my God. I always end up finding. I'm big into comic books and manga. I ain't even gonna lie. It's not something I read often either. But I'm very much big into it. I love that kind of shit. I love comics so much. Nothing goes better with a story than being able to see the faces and the looks of characters. But regardless, they have a Pokemon manga that follows the games, apparently. And it looks fucking good. And it is very difficult for me not to go on there and spend $100 and buy it right now. Speaking of which, I gotta go make a big purchase coming up. And that's the crappy part. I'm making a major purchase. So I see these things, and I'm like, dude, I want this. I'll start buying the volumes of this and the collections of this. And I'll start reading them. I will have a blast. I'll fucking review them. I should start doing book reviews. If anyone wants to see me do reviews of manga or anything like that, let me know. I could give it a shot. The most I've read with manga is... I was about to say I read the Walking Dead comics. But the most I've read with manga is JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Part 1. And I owned the entirety of Part 1 and Part 2 in hardback. And I was going to buy the complete series. And then I was like, yeah, I would love, reading this. I'm a JoJo fan, I ain't gonna lie. I like over-the-top crap. And over-the-top, in my opinion, just means better. That's why I love Capcom stuff, too. Is just over-the-top awesomeness. And that Capcom cheese, as I was talking about earlier. But, so, books, my brain is still functioning. Yeah, so JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, the first part is great. I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventures as a whole. I've watched all the anime up to part... I haven't watched part 6. Am I going to watch part 6? Honestly, probably not. Now, you might be wondering, why do you like JoJo and you're not going to watch part 6? Because I don't want to watch it anymore. I want to read it. I don't know why, but I preferred reading JoJo over watching it. And I really don't know how to describe that feeling. Except for it would just felt better for me, you know. So maybe it's it's probably just a matter of taste. I can't say that the story's different or anything. It's really not. It's the same story. But I am more of a physical media kind of person. And, you know, being able to have a book physically in my hands while I read it, I guess just feels... Oh, excuse me. Feels better. I have hiccups. But, yeah. So, if you want to see me review, like, manga or books or anything, give me some recommendations. I would totally do it, because I read a bit in my free time. Heck, Dungeons & Dragons books, I have read a lot of the content. Between me and my brother, because we share a living, because we live together, me and him are big into D&D. And we own every single 5th edition book and piece of literature. I am not exaggerating. We own every book. We normally have no food on deck policy, but by way of apology, a buffet was heavily prepared in the pool area. Okay. This backfired as we woefully underestimated the demand from the all-inclusive ticket holders. I told the captain that we really shouldn't be offering those tickets on a family cruise, but did he listen? Obviously not. But, yeah, me and my brother own, between the two of us, own every single 5th edition book, as well as some homebrew stuff, like from Grim Hollow and from Ghostfire Gaming. I like Ghostfire Gaming. Their content's pretty awesome. And it fits, too. Their content fits a lot. So, yeah, Ghostfire Gaming's content's great. Not sponsored or anything. And I sure as hell ain't sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. I'm just a big D&D nerd. But the crappy part is that I've been DMing since high school, and I've written a lot of my own custom content, and I like to, you know, I do here and again just like to run a pre-made adventure or campaign. I find that just as enjoyable as making my own stuff. I just spit on my screen. But I find just playing the game fun, regardless if it's, you know, custom content or not. I haven't actually been a player since, like, 10th grade. I haven't been a player in a TTRPG since, yeah, like, 10th grade. And the last thing we had played was Star Wars Edge of the Empire. I believe that's what it was called. It was a Star Wars TTRPG. And it was cool. I liked it. It was fun. I played a Devish Grenadier, and it was one of the coolest things I ever made. But, yeah, and we accidentally murdered Han Solo like 1,000 years into the future. That's a long story. If y'all want RPG stories, I'll give y'all some later. But as of now, yeah, I'm big into Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. And I've run a lot of, you know, I've run custom content. I've run pre-made campaigns and pre-made quests and adventures, and it all feels the same to me. To me, I feel no different running a party through something I made and running them through a pre-made adventure. And I think part of the reason why is because at the end of the day, it is what it is. Either way, it would be harder for a person to metagame, which metagaming a little bit's fine, especially when I'm dealing with more inexperienced players. I don't mind allowing them to metagame or helping them out a little bit. My job as a DM is not to go against a player. It's not to hold their hand either. My job as a DM is to tell a story. And sometimes my players do need a little nudge for that. Or if somebody's new, you know, they need a little more experience. For example, my current group, I had someone in the party who's been playing a, what was it? Oh, man. They're playing a rogue that uses the soul knife. I forgot what the subclass is called, but don't know that off the top of my head. But they've been using soul knife, and that's fine and dandy. But my rogue goes, "Hey, I'm not liking playing with soul knife," and I was like, "Okay." And my rogue goes, "Well, can I do something about that?" And I looked at him, I'm like, "Well, if you're not enjoying it, then I'm not going to force you to play it." And I told him, I'm like, "Next time we get together, we can do a little bit of retconning for your character. Discuss it over with the other party members after, but we're going to have to figure out, you know, some more fitting backstory and stuff. But yeah, you can absolutely change your subclass since you're not enjoying playing with what you have. I do not mind that at all. And I don't see anything wrong with that. As long as my players are having fun, that's, you know, that right there, seeing my players smile and have fun and just interact with the world and enjoy it, that is the best thing that I, as a DM, can experience. And that is the experience I want to give to everybody that I DM for. And yeah, I've had some crappy DMs myself, unfortunately. And another thing is that I hate DM PCs so much with a burning passion. Oh man, to the point where I don't even create them myself. Like, if I create a DM PC, they don't get stats, they don't get anything, and they're not there to help in combat or in any way or anything. They're usually just quest givers or, you know, fun little folk I come up with here and again. So, interesting characters for the party to talk to and interact with. Lore building, stuff like that. That's as far as I go with DM PCs. I cannot sit there and have a DM PC actually engage in combat or anything like that, because I cannot stand it myself when a DM does that. When a DM goes, "Oh yeah, well here's my cool character, everyone clap," you know, I don't like it. I don't think I ever will. And one of my bad experiences was a DM that I had at one point. And so, just evidence that we're struggling in a combat encounter. And all of a sudden, this random character shows up and kills all the enemies and gives us special potions that make it to where we're fully healed. And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's my character." I'm like, "This is fucked up. No, I'm done." Like, nope. You didn't even let us struggle or overcome a challenge. You just robbed us from that enjoyment. You know, I believe that there is enjoyment in peril when it comes to D&D. Some tense situations can be really fun if they're done right. As long as they're not frustrating, I think it's okay to have a tense, pants-shitting moment for D&D. Also, another thing that's absolutely hilarious that I've been asked before is, do I ask my players about phobias and stuff like that? Yes and no. There are certain things that I will ask about in regards to, you know, what's acceptable and what's not. I don't believe, like, certain forms of horror or certain forms of certain topics should be allowed in D&D. That is my, you know, personal opinion. Certain topics should not be allowed in D&D. If you're a DM and you're writing topics that include, like, torture, abuse, SA, anything like that, I don't like it. That is not okay in my opinion. Now, so I shouldn't have to ask my party about those kinds of topics because I don't include them for obvious reasons. Now, what I should ask about are certain things like possibly arachnophobia, you know, someone doesn't like dealing with large bodies of water and stuff like that, or dealing with certain very specific topics like gore or details like that. Yeah, it's okay to get a little graphic when describing a scene, but if I have a player who goes, I don't like explicit depictions of violence, I'm not going to sit there and describe something that is extremely violent. I will pass over it. For example, in one of my current parties that I'm DMing for, I have a player who does not like the ocean at all. Can't stand it. Can't even stand the thought of being, like, on a ship or anything like that. This player does not like that stuff. So what do? I gloss over it. I mention it in passing. I'm like, okay, you guys travel here. You know. But I leave it at that. I'm not going to sit there and give a whole detailed, you know, paragraph essay, 5-paragraph essay on their travels during the ocean. I'm not going to make them fight giant sea tentacle monsters and shit like that because I have a player who does not like that, is absolutely terrified of that kind of stuff. So why should I force that stuff into the campaign and terrify one of my players? You know, I don't have that right. As a DM, I don't have the right to make a player uncomfortable. And I've been going on another tangent. But, I mean, that's just my actual thoughts and opinions on it. Yeah, I do believe there's a time and a place. And I'm not saying that this is my opinion. I'm going to say something straight up. If you are a player or a DM and you are discussing a relationship or something of that sort between characters, that is okay. What's not going to be appreciated is when you go into more details about it. Frankly, when I'm DMing, I tend to cut, you know, any kind of adult content out of my campaigns, usually. Now, if you're DMing for a group that's the point of it, or if you're, you know, doing roleplay stuff with people who are into it, and that is your just thing, all the power to you. I don't care. As long as nobody's getting hurt, you know, that's what matters in that case. But the way I see it for D&D, at the very least, is that it should not be there. You just shouldn't have it. And yeah, like I said, it's okay in passing. Oh yeah, this character's romantically involved with this person. Okay. Or, oh, this character's married to this person. Okay, that's cool. But nothing past that, really. Like, I don't, as a player and as a DM, I don't want detailed descriptions of any characters doing anything, if you catch my drift. That's my own personal opinion on the matter. And like I said, if you're with a group and you're doing your role play, or you're with someone else and you two are doing role play or whatever, and that's the shit you role play about, all the power to you. I don't care. Keep it to yourself. As long as nobody's getting hurt and there's nothing illegal, then you're okay. I could care less at that point. But that's the problem. There are people that, you know, do that, and it's wrong. And in some cases, I've heard about groups talking about... I think one of the more interesting stories that I heard was if you haven't heard of the YouTube channel, his name is Crit Crab, and he talks about D&D horror stories that people, actually post. D&D horror stories, bad experiences at the table, to put it in layman's terms. So there are some things on there that I heard, and I'm like, I am so glad I've never dealt with any of that. And one incident that he did talk about was a guy who was DMing for a younger group. When they saw the buffet was being rationed, the all-inclusive passengers demanded to speak to the captain. Captain is far better mariner than he is a diplomat. Declared their tickets non-refundable. Damn. And when the chips went flying, that's when the chips went flying. Jesus. When the chips went flying, it's when the seabirds descended. Oh my god, it is all bird shit. En masse. But he was talking about an incident where a guy was DMing for a younger group who wanted to try tabletop roleplay. And the first thing this younger group did was attempt to make explicit advances towards characters. And the DM wasn't having it. And I'm like, good for the DM for standing up and saying, hey, this is wrong, we're not doing that. And giving consequences to those actions. I'm just like, oh my god. See, when I was a kid, Dungeons & Dragons was cool because we got to have swords and use magic and fight monsters and, be heroes. And now some people, unfortunately, all they see it as is an outlet for their fetishes. Unfortunately, some people just see it as that. And that kind of sucks. And that's both some players and some DMs, sadly. And there is nothing wrong with having an outlet for your desires. But that belongs between you, your partner, and that's it. That's my opinion on the whole matter with that kind of stuff. That's between you and whoever you're doing it with. Not because, how do I put this? If I join a table and this table's like, oh yeah, we're all cool here, that's fine and dandy. But when the, it should be known to me what kind of table this is when I sit down at it. You know what I'm saying? That's, I think that's the best way to put it. What's there on this stupid wall? Jesus. And yeah, once again, as long as it's not illegal, people can do whatever the hell they want. I could care less. And in some cases, I mean, I've heard of people getting obsessed, and I mean obsessed, with fictional characters in D&D. One story, my brother, he told me about it, and I went and found it. Once again, it was Crit Crab. I think it was Crit Crab. Was it Crit Crab? I don't remember. It was a while back, but he told me about it. And I went and listened to it myself while I was at work. And he goes, so this dude, they had a player at the table who, the DM, they were running Curse of Strahd. And Curse of Strahd, I haven't run it yet myself, but I've been waiting to finally be able to run it. And my party has made new characters just to run Curse of Strahd, and they got some crazy cool characters that they have made. I am really excited because they made stuff with more darker tones, For example, one character is a shadow sorcerer who uses their own blood. She uses her own blood as her spellcasting focus. And that is some cool shit. So, I was like, Jesus Christ, that is insane. So, but it fits well with the more darker Victorian themes of Strahd. So, then we have a special character who is a were creature of sorts. I'm not going to say because in case of any of my party watches this video. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. Also, we have a blood hunter in the party, which is nice. Yeah, I will say as a DM, I just kind of let my players go wild. Regardless, this party was this other party that I listened to a story about. They were running Curse of Strahd. Now, Curse of Strahd, I've heard, is like the best module ever, so I've been ready to run it myself. Now, this player in the party, the DM was role-playing Strahd as if it was himself, and became obsessed with this player's character. Like, lovey-dovey kind of obsessed. And proceeded to constantly make advances towards this character. And when the player abandoned the table and said, no, I'm not doing it, the DM proceeded to have the character marry Strahd. And I'm like, that's insane. That is absolutely insane. That's wild. And that is absolutely, that's bonkers. Straight, insane, crazy wackiness. And I'm just like, oh my god, how can I understand people are going to have their waifus and stuff? People are going to have their waifus. Like, when I was young and I was playing Final Fantasy VII, oh my god, Tifa's one of the reasons I bartended at one point in my life. Oh, yeah, I actually used to bartend. I don't think I've really ever talked about that, but I used to bartend. Regardless. And so, Tifa was, you know, waifu extreme. But everybody has their crushes or their fictional characters or whatever. Some people don't like it. Some people, I don't care. Everybody's going to have their own thing. Now, I can understand that. But this is a character that this dude, like, fell in love with, who had no drawings, who was a literal piece of paper. A literal piece of paper with numbers and letters and words. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Like I said, everybody's going to have their own thing. But that's like, that's crazy for me, even. That's crazy for me, Jesus. And at least I had a normal waifu, you know, like Tifa. But did you know that Tifa is officially Miss Italy? Oh, I remember when that shit happened. That was wild. Oh man, that was some of the craziest crap I'd ever seen in my life. Was when that happened at the that conference in Italy. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fucking funny. It was pretty funny. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm just like, man. Was it Italy? I'm pretty sure it was Italy. Still, regardless, that was a thing that happened, and I was so proud of it. Like, it wasn't me that did it, but I'm proud of Tifa for being such an influence in politics or something. I don't know. Still, it was absolutely hilarious. It was beautiful. Oh man, the internet is a thing. That's for sure. It's one thing I've learned in all my years of life. The internet is in fact a thing. What kind of thing it is for you is up to you. For me, it's a place for me to see crap like that and laugh my ass off. I'm not going to lie. There we go. There's another one? Wall mural. Oh, the wall mural's not done. Like, where's the rest? The dirt! There's the dirt. Find the dirt. There we are. Okay. Windows. Yeah, that was an insane trip into madness that we've been through today, at least. And I have many more topics to talk about. Ugh. I'm actually debating if I should go ahead and make that purchase, like, today, or if I should wait till next payday. It's kind of hard to wait, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there wouldn't be a problem with not waiting, but, you know, having extra money to fall back on is always a good thing. So, you know what I'm saying, right? I'm sure everyone understands where I'm coming from. Well, it's kind of too late. I'd have to call my bank to make that purchase, and that's a little too late for that anyway, so. Whoops. That's fine. I can always wait till tomorrow. This is what I've been doing all day, is playing Kakarot and Powerwash Simulator. You know what? That's fine. That's the kind of life that I choose to live. A life of cringe. This is going to be what my autobiography is called. A Life of Cringe. You know what? That's pretty cool. I think I'm fine with that. Oh, yeah. Look at that washy. Also, I think it's absolutely hilarious that... Well, I'll go on that rant on the next job, actually. So... be ready for a rant about Pokemon on the next job for Powerwash Simulator. Oh, man. Yeah, that's what this is. This is my rant game. Where I boot this up and talk about random garbage while I Powerwash. Because that's what I do. Because otherwise, I would be just listening to something in the background. I would be listening to my... These are windows? They're very shiny. I was trying to see through them. Like, it's not like the glass down there I can see through. That just clicked. Like, what the hell happened? Come here, windows. Yeah. Yep, gotta make sure we get these window columns, too. Don't want to miss any of those. Yeah. Oh, man. This game is just one of those relaxing ones, and there's nothing wrong with that. I should play something a little more hardcore. Actually, recently in my free time, what little free time I have, honestly, I booted up Resident Evil 7 again, and have been playing through that again, just because I want to. And I'm actually going through and finding all of the Mr. Everywhere bobbleheads. So, getting some unlocks. Since I have switched hard drives since the last time I played it, and seeing Cloud doesn't like to work for certain games for me for some ungodly reason. I do not have any of my save data, so I'm having to play the game again. That's fine by me. I just like the game. My favorite DLC, though, was End of Zoe, I have to say. My favorite DLC was End of Zoe. That was an amazing DLC. That had to have been like my favorite part of Resident Evil 7 ever. I mean, it's a fun game overall. And it has plenty of content to keep you busy. It's got a lot of unlockables, a lot of replay value. So, I cannot argue with it. It is, in fact, a great game. Oh, and we are almost done here. Jeez. This job took almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. Wait. What? Oh, wow. I didn't actually finish these ones up. There we are. Woo! Check that out. Let's see how... Oh, that's a nice shot of me. Yeah! Oh, that is beautiful. Power washer. That is amazing. I can't believe you got everything. I even smudged a piece of marriage in behind... I cannot pronounce that. Behind a sunbed to test you, and that's gone. Think we're going to just let the passengers entertain themselves for the remainder. Having said that, the great Ted Cheese has just shown up. He says confidence had taken a hit and that he wanted to prove himself that he still had it by escaping from the emergency pantry. He was stuck in there for 10 days. To be honest, he'd still be down there if not for one of the all-inclusive passengers sneaking down for a creme brulee. Anyways, thanks again. Hey. Well, that's both of the seasonal specials finished. So don't have to do those. I bought the Alice Adventure Pack. But for the DLCs, we're going to start from the beginning if we're going to start those. So, but as of now, thank you all for watching. Check out some of the stuff that I played if you want more, Power Wash Simulator. Check out my playlist. I'll see all of you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.